And we're live. Let's wait for a few minutes.
Great.
And we'll wait for everyone to join in. It should be a fun session. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have a ton of questions. A lot of people have been waiting around for Zroom, I'm telling you. Hey guys, if you've just joined in, make sure to let us know where are you located right now, and if you're excited about Zroom, just drop your favorite emoji or something, so that we can know how excited you are. We'll just wait for a few minutes so that Facebook can let everyone know about it. So we'll just wait for a few minutes. We have people joining in. Meanwhile, Vladimir, how are things going on with you right now?
Oh, today I was on a call, and I'm usually telling when people ask me, how are you? I'm usually telling, yeah, I'm perfect, I'm fine. But today it was very difficult to lie because I'm so tired. Things are getting faster and faster and faster with Zroom, and lots of people are writing with different suggestions, partnerships, and so on. And like, I'm not fine already, so I'm really tired.
That's awesome. All right, so I think we have people joining in, so let's begin, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Udit Goenka, the founder of PitchGround, and I have Vladimir with me, who is the founder of Zroom and Zroom. And today we're going to be presenting you the world's first white label conference platform that is built for resellers. 2020 is all about video conferencing. I don't know if many of you know, but Zoom went from 10 million users to 300 million users in a matter of just 4 months. That's it. In December, they were sitting at 10 million users, and in April, they hit a public figure of which was announced publicly was 300 million users. So you can imagine they acquired 290 million users. I don't even know if Snapchat has that many users. So it's literally crazy, and video conferencing is gonna be the hottest selling product in 2020. And imagine when you have a tool in your hand that you can go out and sell that to under your brand name, there is nothing better than that, because 2020, you will see a lot of shifts around the way people are really working. There's going to be a lot of work from home kind of setup that's going to happen with majority of the company. I think just a couple of days ago, the CEO of Twitter announced that the everyone can work from home permanently. And I've been hearing this from a lot of other big companies who are soon looking to adopt the exact same culture. And when that happens, where are they going to do the meeting? They need a conference room. And if all those big giant companies are going to start that trend, then definitely small companies and mid-sized companies are going to follow that. But not everyone is going to be sticking around with one software. People would be requiring different sort of tools, especially people who doesn't even know about those big tools and overcomplicated tools. So this is where you get an opportunity to grab your hands with Zroom. Just go out there and put your name, whatever brand name that you like, slap your logo on it, your domain name, and you're all set. Vladimir, you excited?
Yes, a lot. I've been excited for weeks already.
Awesome. So guys, meanwhile, if you have any questions about Zroom, make sure to start dropping in. We're going to be going through the presentation, and then we're going to be going through an entire product talk. We're going to be showcasing every bit of the information about the product, and we're going to be talking about the roadmap. We're going to be talking about how to get started, and then we're going to be answering all the questions that you have. So make sure to stay around and go through and make sure to check out the entire webinar, because each of your questions will be answered if you watch the entire webinar. If you still have any questions, we'll take them right after the presentation and the product tour is done. So Vladimir, you ready?
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome, man.
I
The
suggest.
screen is, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I will start sharing in a second. I suggest we go through the presentation without interrupts, and then we can, while I will be demoing, and some parts may require a couple minute pause, like a domain propagation, for example. But then we can take a couple questions, and we can make breaks more often.
Perfect.
Yes. So
the screen is all onto you, and I'm gonna go and hide somewhere now.
yep. Okay. Do you see it?
Yep, it's visible.
Full screen. Great. I will turn on the pointer. So yes, as the header says, it's your own conference rooms, because previously you had conference tools of different brands, but you probably dreamt of having your own small little world where you could make calls and brand yourself, and here it is. So what's the problem? The problem is, I'm looking at this joke of mine. I'm like smiling. When building the presentation, I've put various jokes everywhere, like to make my mood up, because I was really tired already. Like, okay, I smile every time. So what's the problem? The problem persisted for many years already. It was in this or that form, like the form changed, but the essence stayed. Companies want to brand their processes. They may be, depending on what they do, companies are different. All of them are different. They work in different areas. They're in different in size. They have different processes. Some work remotely. Probably more people will start getting remotely, as you mentioned. Many more people. Some work in the office, but everyone is more or less interested in branding all their processes, not moving their processes outside the company. For example, let's take the B2B sales. As a company, you would definitely be interested to start involving your lead into your brand on all the stages of the sales process. It's not yet sold, but it's really good for the future possible customer, for your lead, to be there already from day one, from the first minute. Whether it don't have any specific examples on that, but just imagine the pipeline of the sales. You have video calls, your communication with that person. What people used before, let's say Skype, right, or Zoom, which became popular recently. It is still Skype or Zoom. It's we don't take here the fact that it's sometimes really difficult to set up, and Udit will not let me lie. We were setting up this presentation, spending like 10 minutes. We don't take this into account at all. It's all now about branding. Or let's take recruiting. I run another company, a software development company, and I recruit myself from time to time. Now, these days, I'm not really involved much into that. I get messages every day from various recruiters on LinkedIn. I know I talked to people and heard several times, just trying to prove the hypothesis. How would they prefer to build it, to brand the process? There are different recruitment tools. Can't recall any, but there is a Swedish company. Basically, it brands you a recruiting process with mailing and all the communication. And it's not the only one. There are several companies like that, or there is a SaaS product, for example, that creates like your team view and allows to communicate. But none of them involves video chat. So people want to brand even recruiting, which might be not that obvious at the first glance. And here, well, the video conferences is video communication is a clear part of recruitment process, because you never hire people without seeing them. Internal education is something I've heard several times about. And I work, even one of my clients of my main company is an big ed tech company from Europe. Also, And what they do, they provide internal education tools for their clients. And recently, tons of their clients, the sub clients, started asking for like branding their the internal, let's call it webinar, like video presentation that inside the courses, because they have products on the market they can use, but they still want it to be a part of their brand since they're providing that service. Support, again, you can come up with tons of solutions yourself, how support has been branded. Well, I'm not a big specialist in those names. I can probably recall, well, if I can recall any support tool at all. We discussed this with Udit a couple of days ago. If you still hear me, it's actually a little bit strange. Are you still here? Because
I'm here. Yeah, so I think there are plenty of support problems and support related processes out there. So there is Help Scout, then there is Zendesk, there's Freshdesk.
Yeah, Zendesk.
There are plenty of them.
Exactly. So you can come up with other examples of what processes can be branded, but a general rule is that a company does not want to to dissolve their brand. They want to keep all the processes within it, whether it's, I don't know, food delivery. You would probably love to have, that's why people style their cups in the office, or mouse pads. that's always that's somewhat the same reason. They want the brand to grow. So we were thinking on that video part of all the processes, and how could we help people? How could we resolve their pain? And a little bit less than a year ago, let me, since we have plenty of time, let me tell you a short story, just 5 minutes. The company that I mentioned, we communicate on a daily basis with development teams and management teams. And we were using one of the video tools available on the market before. But then one day it suddenly became paid. And the feature that we were actively using, it became paid. So we decided, no, that won't go like that. We kills. So we build it internally. And we did it. The basic tool was ready in pretty quickly. We started using it internally. It grew, features gained more features. It all continued until one of our clients asked us if we can build them the same for them. And well, I told them, yeah, Chris, why would you hire the developers to buy it? It will cost you much more. Just let's white label the existing product if you love it. We have calls with you. With your team as well. And he's like, yeah, definitely. That's just a great idea. And then when it all started, we decided to take all the features available in that small internal tool that just started getting popularity, among our clients, or we spread it among friends. Didn't obviously market it because, well, it's just an internal tool. We didn't think about it. It wasn't the main business at all. Which had plenty of cool features, and these days, all the giants, when the pandemic started, they came up with this policy of no sign up, no downloads, nothing works on mobile everywhere. But a year ago, you could barely find anything that would work without download or sign up, and we were there with our product. We just weren't smart enough to start marketing it directly. But then this cool white label thing, we decided to separate the brands a little bit, and we rename it, although it looks really, really similar, as you might have mentioned, and called it Zroom. The original was Zroom, with the same design. So a little bit about the product, like what is that cool that Zroom had, and what is that cool that Zroom brought into this world? So Zroom, as I've mentioned already, it had this no logins, no downloads, works on any device policy. It even works on my TV. Yes. I'm not sure if you see my camera, but I'm like, yeah. It works even on my TV. I can call and talk with my wife right now, who's in another room. Supports different modes of operation, because sometimes people just need a chat for for a small team, 5-6 people to talk about, and then they want to see each other's faces. They want this interaction. Some people, on contrary, they want to present. They don't want to see anyone. It can be a small class, for example. We have people using it like that. And then a teacher is presenting, and there is, well, the teacher should also only likes to communicate, with those watching the webinar by text, not hearing them or anything. Then, if you have ever used Zroom, because today I was reviewing the statistics and just made some analysis of the media, and eventually it turned out we're mentioned in plenty of places. And there was even one confusing for Udit and very funny situation that he may tell about later, that there was one list with recommended video software, and he said, yeah, let's set it there. And I opened the list, and yeah, good idea. Scroll to the comments. But luckily, I paid attention to what was there. And there was, damn, that was Zroom. And I was like, yeah, it's already there. Saved me 5 minutes of writing comment. So if you were there, if you used that tool previously, you've probably noticed that it's super light, although the functionality is still there. How did we achieve it? We came up with the idea that since the tool should be available not as a mobile app, but not something that you download, but something that you fetch from the internet every time, even maybe it's cached, but anyway, the first time. You could be on a bad connection, you could be on a slow device. The tool must be very light. Although with the time, more requests for functionality came, like, oh, we want to, we want booking, we want to be able to draw on the screen, we want this, we want that. And we started thinking how to achieve all that, because obviously I don't even need room locking when talking to people, because if I'm discussing something super secret, I can of course lock the room, but I rarely do this. But some people use features that I never use, and vice versa. I may be using some features and experimenting with something that I would like people to have access to, that the majority of users don't need. And then we came up with the idea of plugins, and not just plugins like the backend plugins you may see, for example, with Zoom, for example. Yeah, maybe not the best example. We were promoting them, mentioning them already for third time, but that's how it is. But the plugins that you will be able to hot load directly into your call and unload when you don't need them. And if you would, let's say, install them, they would be hot loaded every time automatically. And then things changed, because then we continued keeping the core small, trying to get it even smaller with time, but yeah, still we rewrite the architecture, so that's not always possible, but it's more or less not growing, at least. But we build the features, and the features, many of them come in the form of plugins. It's not about, again, I'm now talking about Zroom, so it's a completely free product, free to use, peer-to-peer. You can't really scale it a lot, but after all, that's just a free product that we used for ourselves and that we shared with people. It's free, it's still free. The Cellular API we had because sometimes it was convenient for some of the users to arrange rooms automatically and to manage it, but for video rooms you can't really come up with that many ideas. How would you like to use this? However, if you guys who are listening to us and will be listening in the recording have any ideas, some mad ideas even how to utilize the API, just shoot it because I'm really interested in developing that part. And bots, we had almost from the first week we launched, we had bots for Slack, for Telegram, for Kontakte. That's the, well, we were chatting with people from Russia, hence Kontakte, because probably no one of you uses it, but still Slack and Telegram, pretty useful. Telegram still doesn't have video calls. So for example, if you just connect the Zroom bot to your Telegram and then use it for video calls, that's pretty convenient. That's at least what we do. And we do it, of course, for Slack. Yeah, because it's, I somehow managed to shift all my clients, all our clients, I'm not talking about Zroom, I'm talking about my software development company, shifted them to using Zroom instead. And it's so funny. I'm sometimes like a one-to-one call is still, I think, free in Slack. They didn't limit it, but people still use it, still use this call, still use Zroom because it's so quick. You just type / and it's the bot automatically does everything for you. And from mobile phone, it's even faster, I think. And then it's convenient. It doesn't lag, because Slack was really good before, but these days I'm that close from stop being loyal to them. It just can't really deal with it. So many bugs. Yeah, and then this idea is that with white label. So what did Zroom lack? It basically had everything you need, but it wasn't scalable. And it didn't. You couldn't tune it. You couldn't brand it anyhow. Although there were some simple plugin mechanisms, but that's nothing, because it didn't go anywhere. It doesn't work well. So what's Zroom? Zroom is basically Zroom, white label based on Zroom, which is automatically connected to your domain as soon as you provide detailed instructions for it in the back office. It allows you to deploy everything what I've described on your domain. It's not just a subdomain of Zroom. However, in the future, we plan to offer to those who, let's say, just want branding but doesn't care about white label, we will offer a subdomain on our domain. Let's say that person doesn't want to buy a domain, right? It could be some sole entrepreneur, or I don't know. Yeah, an example could be a language teacher, for example. They don't have a domain, but they want to brand it a little bit. Own colors, of course, own color scheme, various tricky configurations. Yeah, we're in plenty of places we support CSS, so you can do all crazy stuff, gradients, transparency, whatever your imagination tells you. On copies, in some places, yeah, you can change the copies, although there are not that many copies in the tool. And good to mention here, because we got many questions from you guys, at least like 4 or 5. Can I translate my app? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We already support 11, I think, or 10 languages, some of them provided by community, translations. It's all open source. I have already left links, and I will leave links again when you ask this. It's open source on GitHub with the instructions how you can translate it, or if you let's say a native speaker and you don't like the translation, just feel free to submit a change. If you wish to have your own language, here you go. Yes. It's up to you. It's a playground. Of course, you can't write pejoratives there, because I will not. This pull request will not pass. But if you do it with a good intention, do translations with good intention, then of course you're very, very welcome, and I will always help you if you have questions. Although experience shows that people, yeah, it's pretty clear, because I just get notification on GitHub that someone issued a pull request, and it's like you have a Chinese translation. Oh, Chinese translation, nice. I don't know what's that. I like checked just in case what is there in translation, so that there were no jokes. It looks like it's all good. And on graphics, again, not that many. It's like a logo or tab, the favicon of the tab in the browser. Oh, sorry, my screen went black. I enabled it. And last but not least is your SEO. because some people ask us like, oh, I see that's a single page application. So what if like Google crawler comes there and they see what Zroom or Zroom? Yeah, we don't buy. But no, they will not see it. They will see your brand. Moreover, when you share a link to your own conference room in social media or in a messenger or wherever, the preview that is generated, both text and graphics, is all branded. There's no reference to Zroom unless you, of course, want so. So I mean, if you don't set it up, it of course says that it's Zroom. Yeah, here I just gave some examples of how some people styled it. We can go look at them closer later if you wish. If you don't, they're basically they have the same functionality. I mean, we will go through the tool, so it's not really just styling examples. In the future, I will add styling examples as a complete themes, so that you could pick it up like a template, because some people have difficulties with styling. And I know that not everyone is tech savvy and can code various cool CSS. Obviously, that's after all, it's kind of programming language. You don't need to be a master of it, but it will be really helpful to have templates there so that you could pick it up quickly. The tool itself, the free tool, supports only two colors: the dark mode for developers, because we originally used it as developers, and the light mode. It's usually sales team loves it more than the dark one. Okay, here it's just a small page about customization. I've already talked about it. That's how the back office looks like on one of the tabs. Nothing really. Yeah. As I mentioned, it supports CSS, so you can do various cool stuff. You can add backgrounds, whatever you wish. Just pick the colors. There are plenty of things you can set up. Some of them are dynamically previewed here, so as soon as you change it here, it just changes there. Helps you to imagine how it will look like. Some of them are not. Very few of them, but with time we will probably add a little bit more details for you to help you guys. I didn't show other tabs because you can just go there, and after all, signing up is free, and after you sign up, you get a demo domain. Not this one. This is a real demo of mine. You'll get a demo domain to click, so you will be able to play around there. Some people ask, can we have a trial? For that, I tell them, you know what? There is a free version that shows you all the functionality. Just go there and play there. If you want to have a trial for a back office, sign up. It's free. You don't need to add any card or whatever. Play with the back office. That's it. So you don't really need a trial. A little bit about growth. There's the plot may look really strange. It looks even weird. To be frank, when I first discovered this in March, I was like, what? What? So clearly we can see 3 stages here. It's an internal use. When we didn't do anything with the tool, we just used it internally, and some other people maybe started sharing it. We saw in the logs that there are some external companies that we never heard about started using it, but I don't know how did they get to know. Seriously, maybe they saw a Slack plugin in their marketplace or something, or maybe someone told them about that. Then the go-to-market stage is when we decided, okay, let's build the white label, and then the pandemic came, and it's like, well, it's a game changer now, because everyone went online, and I'm both excited and and a little bit frightened that it's just growing and growing and growing, and especially before we started, focusing on scaling, we had plenty of bugs, and I was really, really afraid that people will churn. I mean, those, of course, free users that will come and say, what's this shit, and leave. So we spent not that many features appeared from March, but the stability and the usability, it's something we really, really focused after that moment, not to lose all those people. So you would ask me, Vladimir, what opportunities do we have with Zroom? How can I use it? The first and the most obvious is strengthen your brand. It's your own video room, after all. You can use it in different ways, in the ways I've described on one of the first slides. And it doesn't, every time you use, let's say, Skype or even Zoom, yeah, sorry for advertising them all the time. You do not show off your brand. You show their. That's how they grew from 10 million to 300 million. That's what Udit mentioned in just a few weeks. That's because people like you all started showing, okay, yeah, install Zoom, and yeah, spend 10 minutes on setting it up, and and promote their brand. Now you don't need to do this anymore. It's your brand. You promote your brand. It may even happen that people, it will probably happen that you, if you start using it for sales, clients, the leads, even not clients of yours, will ask you, okay, company A, B, C, D, is it your tool? And you can say, yeah, it's my tool. And then you can resell. Save on operations. It may seem really, really strange, but I added it intentionally. After all this period is about us saving on operations. And we built this tool for ourselves, and we are sharing with you. Save on operations. Earn and reselling. Although this is just in this childhood, very childhood form, like very baby form, it's one of the destinations we plan to, one of the things we plan to develop actively, include also in addition to stuff that I will talk a little bit later about. After people ask you, like, hey, company ABCD, is it your tool? Yeah, you may say, yeah, it's my tool. I mean, we built it, our guys built it, and we can share it with you. It just costs X amount to you. You do whatever you want. You can, right now it's quite, the reselling capability is quite limited. There are basically just 2-3 ways we can cooperate with you in reselling, and one of them that is very handy is that PitchGround suggests you. A couple words about this PitchGround deal. You guys already probably all know about. It is, if you just count, if you sign up for this free trial, as I've explained, and you love the tool, this deal that you get is basically, if you just count it, it's just 1 month, and then you get it forever, because you get 10 seats, you get 10 domains, and just compare with the current price we have. And one more thing, if you're still hesitating, when this campaign ends, our prices will go up, the regular prices. So don't miss a chance. And yeah, last but not least, pleasing your ego. Some people are really obsessed on branding, on white label, but that's not bad. That's not bad. There is nothing bad in that. That's just, some people love to collect post stamps, and some love to organize, their rooms, their physical rooms, even trying to make it look nice and cozy for yourself. And you do the same. You do the same. If you are, let's say, a private entrepreneur and I don't know, using video calls on your daily basis, or for something, for whatever you do, and you want to style it, then it's something we would be glad to help you with. Just please your ego, make it look nice. And it will also, if you have a brand, again, it will help you to strengthen your brand, but not all those people do have it. So a couple of words about our roadmap. So plans really change fast. So even 3 months ago, we didn't think about anything but maybe LinkedIn Marketplace. When we started talking to you guys, not to you, but I mean, I'm calling the clients, so everyone who will be listening, all the audience and possible users, we realized that the demand is really different. It's not what we thought of, like a plug-in to cooperatively draw on a whiteboard. No, that's not what people would like to see. Many of you asked about bigger rooms. So currently, And because Zroom is just a white label of Zroom, and Zroom is a peer-to-peer system, although it's optimized in different ways and allows to safely have, like in a regular call, maybe 8-9 people, depending on the connection, and in this streaming or webinar call, if you call it so, 15 approximately, depending on your connection. Again, I'm measuring by my connection. If you have better one or more powerful machine, then obviously it's not limited by anything. It's both good and bad. Why is it good? Because some people ask me, and I even added this to FAQ, how can we be sure that you don't secretly watch us? Like, what do you do with our video? What happens to our videos? And in the case of peer-to-peer, I can frankly say, I don't know what happens with your videos. And because your videos go directly from one person to another, that's also an advantage when, let's say, you're in Australia and you want to talk to a person who is in the same city, right? But if you were to stream video to somewhere to Germany or even to US, far, far away, it would take a couple hundred milliseconds just for the electromagnetic wave to reach it there, to bring the signal, and we would have an incredible delay. In case of peer-to-peer, there's no delay. You just, if let's say, I'm not sure if you see me, I mean, or I can use my pointer. If here is the server and you are here and your friend is here, you still communicate directly, and it's very, very, very fast. You don't need to talk to the server. Yes, the initial when communication is established, you have to talk to the server. But even to tackle that, we started deploying so-called signaling servers around the world. We already have 2 of them, one in the United States and one in Europe, and one more in Asia is coming soon. So because I know many of you guys are from India, from other places in Asia, so you might definitely be interested. Especially because we thought about deploying a server in India, so that will be pretty quick for you. But when we go from peer-to-peer to scaling, like this milestone we want to achieve, we will have to switch to more server-based architecture, and then this will be more like the layout on this planet will be more affecting how the ping and everything. So we need to take care of it. But what you guys asked for is to have more people in the room, not to make it limited by peer-to-peer. Moreover, we're thinking to avoid those questions. What do you do with our videos? Yeah, because some people, they still wear tinfoil hats. They really, they may be very, very strict towards what happens to the video, especially if that's in medical institutions, or although I know that some medical companies, for example in Sweden, that use, well, they use video streaming, they use video communication, sorry, and this communication goes through another state. And they don't care. It's strange, with those governmental owned institutions. Let's not talk about that. The second big thing that is coming, and that I'm very excited about, is RTMP, and actually RTMPS, because the SSL extension of RTMP, because no one really allows RTMP anymore. It's RTMPS with the composition. So what is this? Let me tell you a couple words about that. The idea is that when you're in a call and it's that fancy styled with your brand and it's so cozy inside, you want to be able, and you will be able, to stream simultaneously to several destinations, social networks. Let's say Udit talks to someone, right? Or someone. You have some people added and you're like showing something, and you want to add some interactive components on the screen, something static, basically compose your video and then stream it to several social networks at the same time to increase your coverage. And that's what you will be able to do. That's what we will plan to demo very soon, not today, of course. Although it is in July, the closed beta will be available. I would say, let's put it like this: the alpha will be available very soon. We hope to demo it on the next week webinar in like this primary version. Of course, it will not be available for general public until July for sure. And early adopters, those who begged me with the private messages bombarding me the last days, maybe yeah, first few of you will get early access like in June just to test. But no more, because we don't want to to release a raw product. We want it to be stable. Then resell and automation, and there is quite a big pause between July and October, and that's because we think the video composition and everything may create some hidden issues that we'll have to take care of, and also that the next point milestone in the roadmap is also not that simple. We need to think over lots of things there. That's about reselling and automation, because some of you already asked how can I connect my payment service and do resell white label as a white label reseller. I totally understand you. It's my mistake that we haven't thought about it like half a year ago, because otherwise it would already be there. But it is coming, we promise you. I'm not absolutely sure that it's October, it could be November, but it is this year. And the last point that I think it is still important. I know that no one cares because it looks so, but I still nurture it as a baby, this plugin marketplace. I want to move all the plugins to separate marketplace, something really nicely styled, somewhere where you could upload your plugins, you could develop your plugins for your own necessities. Because a couple of days ago, I got contacted by a company who want to control robots through Zroom, and they will write their own plugin for that. But it would be much simpler, if there were interfaces for that, because in that case I'll have to guide them and I have to help them all the time. If there were a marketplace, they would do it themselves. They would limit their robot control plugin for their domain, and they would use it there, and no one would even know unless they wanted to make it public. That's it. There are tons of small things planned. So don't think like if you lack, let's say, password protection, you may see that on the interface there is no password protection. There already is a password protection. If you're an API user, you can lock your room with a password, and then when someone comes, he will be asked for a password. Those small features, like password setup from the interface, for example, or avatars, or they are all coming. They are just here. They are all here. They're small, so that's why we think there is no big sense to put them on the scale. And a little bit about the team. Yes, first, you may think like, what the hell is this? What are those pictures? Well, developers, I'm a developer too, but other guys, they're really shy and don't want. It was really difficult to persuade, especially the architect, to take a photo and put it here. He's like, no. I'm very, even if you search for him on social networks, you never find his real photo, nothing. He's very secret guy. And kind of the same for another one. So yeah, that's me. That's I have a little bit, just a couple of words about myself. I've been a developer, or not. Let's not put it like that. I've been developing. I've been doing software development for 22 years, since I was a kid. But the last years I'm not working with it directly. I'm more into management. Although I love coding. I don't have time, but I love coding. Sometimes, at late night when there are no more mails, no more calls, I'm like, okay, let's program a little bit. So, and in Zroom and Zroom, I'm responsible for frontend. So if you see some frontend bug, it's like, oh, that's Vladimir, you wrote it wrong. Like, there was a bug, I will mail him. And yes, don't hesitate, contact me. Sooner or later, I will definitely fix it. If you're a client, then, well, you'll have a priority, obviously. Trying to treat our clients well. I'm also responsible for the business development product. So if you have any ideas, if you have any suggestions, partnerships, whatever, you know whom to contact. I try to not rush everyone because you already started doing so. So I may be replying with a great delay. I'm really sorry in advance. Like I let's put it so. I will try to reply to you in 3 days, but don't judge me hard. Okay, these days I'm getting a hell of a lot of mails. The architecture, a little bit about Dmitry, who is responsible for architecture. Before we started, before the pandemic came and we started scaling, the architecture was something I built before, and it wasn't that perfect. So we wanted to make it mathematically proven almost, and that's what he came and he started building. And it's like sometimes I even don't understand what this means because it's so ideal, such an ideal code, such a like an alien language there. It's so damn good. Like when you start thinking in deeply, he's responsible for the core basically. And one more guy who joined us specifically to work on streaming, although this video composition and all the video effects and improving the performance and stuff like that. Yeah, he's working specifically on that. So if you guys help us to grow, if you trust us, if you believe in us, if you invest in us a little bit, then we will grow even more because we have other directions we want to work on, like plugins marketplace. We don't have resources, unfortunately, yet. A little bit about resources. The fourth member mentioned here is the company, and he's Estonia, who's providing funding and also people. It's a company that I co-own. So with that funding, we can basically go as we go without worrying about the funds. But still, if you want us to go faster, if you want us to scale, help us. Yeah, I'm not asking. I'm not like begging or anything. Just what to do. Yeah, that's all, folks. I'm not sure if we made it in 45 minutes or 35. I don't have time here. What's on my clock? Yeah, around 45 minutes, I think. So that's good. We did. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Vladimir.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. No. So I'm also on Zroom right now. So if anyone wants to see me live, I'm actually on Zroom. So I was talking with few people over there because a lot of people wanted to see the demo as well of the software, and they were asking why we are not using the software. So I was explaining that we wanted to go Facebook Live, and the RTMP is not live right now. So if anyone wants to catch me up on xroom.org live to check out the software, just go to xroom.app /PitchGround, and you will find me over there. So we already have a bunch of people live over here. So just in case if you want to see me, I am available over here. Maybe Val, you can actually share your screen.
Yeah.
So
you're on webinar.
Yeah.
Okay, you're running the web. Yeah, but I will just see. I'm not sure. Yeah, are you with the screen off?
No, I have the video on right now.
Are you off? What?
Yeah, most likely it's two tools running at the same time. And maybe 5 FPS. Could be my camera settings or something, maybe.
I think it's probably, I don't know. Well, damn, it's like I'm getting bombarded there. Turning it off. Everyone is chatting.
Yeah,
regarding the
FPS, yep. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
As I said, it's peer-to-peer. So that's where Zroom comes, because Zroom will develop in the direction of not peer-to-peer, but more conventional communication with the multiplexers and with servers. Especially if you guys joining from poor connection places or you're far away, the peer-to-peer will not work that well. It works well when you communicate in, let's say, someone nearby. I usually don't experience problems because it's difficult. We have good connection here in Europe, even outside, even in the woods. We have a guy who is joining our daily meetings, for example, when going cycling, and he's doing it from a phone. But I admit that if you have connection limitations, then it will be blurry. I don't know how much you're streaming. You're probably streaming to Zoom as well. So your traffic
Yeah,
might be
I think most likely it's because of that, because I'm also on Zoom. I'm streaming over there, and plus I'm live over here at the moment. So guys, I'm gonna head back over there, and then right after the webinar, if everyone wants to jump in over here, then maybe we can restart this. How about that? Because we do have a product tour, and then we're gonna be taking up a lot of questions, and then I can reactivate this link again, so that we can discuss more. Because right now I think it's most likely because I'm at two different places, and I'm streaming at two different places. So that could be the possible reason. So I'm gonna go off from here for now, guys. Awesome. So,
but don't worry. Don't worry, guys. One of the coming webinars will be streamed directly using our platform. So
okay,
I know that you're all excited. We simply wanted to do it through Facebook, and in case, since this is not fully supported yet, we decided not, not to fail, to do it like old school way.
Perfect. Yeah.
Good. I think now it's time. Am I still sharing the screen or not?
No, not. So what we're gonna do right now, we do have a bunch of questions coming in. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a couple of questions before we dive into
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Let's do it.
the very first question is okay. So I was looking at Zroom when this first was announced, and I have two big questions. What's the scalability? How many people will Zroom support total? And how many with simultaneous videos? And also, are there any breakout rooms?
Yeah, let me answer. So in the free version that you checked right now, it's peer-to-peer, so it's limited. There is no limitation imposed by us, but it's a limitation imposed by your browser, by your computer, and by your network. So if your computer, browser, and network do not allow, do not cope with decoding and encoding 20 video streams at a time, and then your router doesn't allow multiplexing, all that, you won't have it. But if it does, if you have really good hardware, it will work. I mean, there are no limitations, but it's peer-to-peer. It's good to know. In Zroom, what I've shown on the presentation, one of the milestones, the nearest milestone is hello. Test.
Oh, I guess my mic is on for some reason, but maybe I shouldn't be live right now.
Yeah, just a moment. You're next, Dave. So
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Awesome, Vladimir. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. But because many people want to get more bigger rooms, basically, to add this server amplification, and that's what we're going to add. Currently, in the free version, Zroom is white labeling of Zroom, and Zroom is peer-to-peer. So at this moment today, you get what you get there, depending on your connection. Unfortunately, if you have poor network, we can't really help you much, but we will help you eventually while deploying signaling servers closer to your place. Unfortunately, if you're, let's say, from India, you guys, and the closest server to you is in Frankfurt, so establishing connection may take time, but you will get it. You will get a closer one soon. I think there was some other part of a question of that. How many people I've answered?
Yeah, the second part was how many with simultaneous videos and their breakout rooms.
Breakout rooms. Yeah, I think I've answered about breakout rooms already on Facebook. Someone asked, but that's pretty clear. If you when you get a white label, it's all yours. It's not one room. It's unlimited amount of rooms. And then if you want to, if I clearly understand what a breakout room is, it's just like where people join for a pause, right? I'm not sure what a breakout room is. I haven't been using them. So if you can
So
clarify.
I think that question was from Taylor. So Taylor, if you can just define what exactly do you mean by a breakout room, so we'll be able to go more specific and be able to answer your question. So while we get a bit more clarification from Taylor,
but in case this breakout room is a room where let's say there is a 3-hour webinar and then there is a pause and you want a place for people to chat, then since there is unlimited amount of rooms on your domain and they're not anyhow intersecting with other domains or other rooms, you can just direct people there. Moreover, with a simple plugin, you can build it in a way that basically you click it and you automatically create breakout rooms for people and they just go there and then they return back. It's if I understood you rightly what a breakout room is, but clarify it, please.
Awesome. So meanwhile, until Taylor is going to ask his question, what I'm going to do is, there is, okay, so Richard is saying breakout room is when you have a large webinar and then within the large webinar, you can separate people into smaller rooms while it's still a large room.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Then exactly, there is no limitation. The whole namespace is yours. All the names are yours. Let's say your webinar is called whatever site.com/PitchGround, and the breakout rooms could be whatever site.com slash I don't know, something you wish. Coffee break.
Awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Dave come in and answer his question. Dave?
Yeah. Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Awesome, sexy mic. There you go.
Thank you very much. I spent a lot of money on this setup. Yeah. So, okay. So let me just tell you, I was pretty pumped up about this deal, and I just got it, and I started testing it already. And can I share my screen? Okay, let me try here. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. Can you see the app? I have the app here. Okay, very good.
Yes.
So I already set it up. Pretty awesome. It works as I expected. Then I was a bit disappointed about something, but I guess I was wrong. About it. I'm not sure exactly how it works yet. So I read this warning here when I am setting my domain name to set the CNAME.
Yep.
And the message says that the domain where you would like to run your white label, and then it says, please do it carefully. This action cannot be undone.
Well, it can of course be undone, but it will, load me as a support. So I kindly ask you guys, do it carefully, because otherwise it's not. It deals with automatically deployed certificates that you get. So we will undoing it is a little bit difficult. So try not to do it. I mean, if you, I can't tell you, no, we can't, because we can, but it's just to make our lives easier. Let's put it like this. During summer, we'll try to have automatic undoing, because I know people crave it, people want it. So it will be there sooner or later. It's not a physical limitation.
So just to be sure, now, it's not like a limitation. It's not a limitation of the agency plan. It's not something you lock us out of this feature of being able to edit the domain or...
No. This is purely at this point because we didn't have resources to develop it correctly. There is just a script to undo all this, but there is no tested and validated interface. It will be you will have this feature of resetting the seed. Let's say you don't need this domain, you will have some button. I don't know, like clear domain or something like this. Destroy domain, and it will turn back into a seed. That's what
very good, but that's how are you aware of the this will happen for sure. Someone is trying to get clients, they'll get a client, they will send them the domain, and then the domain will be wrong, or they will want to change, and then the client does not want to work with it. They will say, okay, let me call my tech guy because he takes care of my website, he'll give me another one, and then I cannot change it, and then I maybe need another seat, and then I'm stuck with the client for, I don't know, a long time. You understand, this can happen very easily. Yeah,
that can.
It's critical.
But okay, as I said, we will edit. But to be frank here with you, based on our current clients, no one of them, and I'm very surprised, asked about that. although those questions have already come from people from wannabes. Like, so it's not a technical limit. Okay, let's put it like this. Let's if I promise you that we will have this feature until the end of May, will you still have trust in us?
Yeah, if you say that, I'm more than happy. Like that's what we do here. We support the development of new products, and we are happy to do that. At least I talk for myself. I think most people are on the same train here. We want to support you, and if you want to make it this an awesome product, we are with you 100%. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Let me just tell you something else about the white label part. I noticed this is not completely white label if the CNAME part is we have to create a CNAME record pointing to Zroom.
I got your question already. Let me explain it. So let's imagine two cases. We have a CNAME point into this Zroom, right? Or CNAME point into abc.something, I don't know, org. First of all, a regular user will not do analysis of where does it point. And if we have not a regular user who is able to find out the CNAME, that user will easily be able to find out that another server called awesomedave.org is related to that room. And that user, he or she, will easily find this out. At least I'm judging by myself. I mean,
you mean doing a lookup? You mean like doing a DNS lookup?
Yeah, right.
No, I don't mean
Reverse
that. I don't mean that. I don't mean doing a reverse lookup. I mean when you get a client, you will need to set up the domain name, right?
The client.
Yes, of course, our client. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
okay.
sense.
Well, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. But that's really, really, really good that you pointed out. I don't have any idea how to solve this because you will have to. Can it be?
I can give you the solution. It's very easy. So you can either set up an IP. You can get an IP, or you can get like another domain that is not associated with your main website. Then it will be completely white label.
Yeah, I think yes. That's a good point. We actually discussed this with it already.
Yeah, we actually discussed this right before the call. So I think this can be done in like just a few days. So it wouldn't take too long. So maybe like next.
Let's put it like this. In a few days, I guess I will be overcrowded with support, so there will be nothing done in a few days. Let's make it fair. But yes, this is this is really good point for reselling. We will try to solve it as soon as possible. Let's put it also until the end of May because I see the importance right now.
Okay, as long as it's going to be done eventually. Let me just show you something else that I noticed, also about white label. Okay, you have an error message that pops up when someone tries to load the website from what I would consider is a browser that is not supported. In this case, I tested with the Internet Explorer, and you throw out this message. The message is mostly white label, but if you see here, the app icon and the title description, they all have the name of the website. So they're like here. Yeah, they're on my website.
Let me write down.
This is a quick fix. It's a quick fix.
Yeah, it's a quick fix, exactly. So what is crypto?
I've taken a screenshot of it as well, and I'm going to send it across to you, Vladimir, on Skype.
What? Sorry?
I've also sent you the screenshot on Skype to just make it easier. So you remember.
Yes.
So that should be like.
Can I talk while you typed it in? So
I'm
really impressed with this app. I'm really impressed with this. I mean, it's pretty awesome. And
thank you.
Yes, it's. I was like thinking about this for the past 3 days. I'm not joking. I was like already imagining telling people about how can they just stop looking like amateurs, stop looking like kids using Zoom. Just stop that. Stop looking like a kid. Stop telling everyone that you don't know shit. I'm sorry for swearing. And, brand yourself and just use this. Amazing that you can use unlimited rooms. But can you tell us a bit more about, the limitation, how many people can be in a room? So apparently there's no hard-coded limit, but there's a limit in regards to the network. What I didn't understand is how does this exactly work?
It works. If we don't take into consideration the version of those repeaters that we're going to release soon, that will allow to have much more people in the room. Let's take the current version, the peer-to-peer. The limitation is pretty clear. You probably, if you start a regular conference call, not this webinar streaming mode, regular conference call, and add, let's say, 15 people there from different laptops in different places, you will see that everything and you just listen to the CPU fan, you will hear it screaming, because in this case it will have to do this multiplexation. It's locally with all the streams and network and packing. It's just a hardware limitation. It's not a.
Can I ask you something? What do you mean when you say you? You mean the host of the call? Is there like a host that is like also technically a host of the whole? It's like acting like a server or something like that. The local machine acting like a server or not?
I'm not sure how aware are you of peer-to-peer? Do you understand what it is?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. So yeah, it's that's the problem. Maybe I should. I'm not technically very aware of how peer-to-peer technology works.
No, it's not a technology. It's a topology. Okay. So currently let me explain, because some other people might be really interested in that as well. Currently there are two modes. I'm not sure if you went there and seen, but if you analyzed, you've probably seen it already. The conference call and this what we call webinar, which is, we don't want people to think about it as a webinar. It's just another topology. Although you can use it as a webinar, it is not yet. It's not a competitor to webinar.
It's way more than that.
Thank you. But anyway, when you use it in this conference call mode, everyone is connected to everyone. That's why if a server, let's say in I don't know, in Germany, right, and you're in New Zealand, and all the guys that you're talking to are in New Zealand, you don't experience any problems, because the video just goes from you, and video and audio, from you to each of the participants. But the more people you get, the more complex this system becomes, because everyone has to exchange videos with everyone else, because it's peer-to-peer.
I understand.
Then eventually, when you get like 15 people sharing videos with each other, it starts, their computers simply stop coping with the load. In the webinar mode, it's a little bit different, because then there have a clear host and just viewers, and obviously viewers do not experience any problems. They are connected. They only view and listen and can type and chat. However, host is loaded. But in this case, if host has a really powerful machine, then you can scale even with peer-to-peer. But to reveal you from this pain, we're releasing those repeaters, because then a repeater, a server-based component, will basically take care of this heavy load, and there will be a host streaming to it, and that system will do the multiplexing. It will take the load, so you will be able to stream to 100 people basically, or something.
Okay, so there won't be the problem. If the host, of course, in the webinar, if the host is disconnected, there is no more signal. But I was worried that in a conference call, like if you create the room, then the room will be disconnected or something if you go out, or if your connection goes out for a little bit, it will be unstable.
Not a problem.
But it's not the case, right? Very good.
If you watch the presentation that the architecture guy took care about it, we even took care about, there are two cases when things can disconnect. One case is very often is when, let's say, poor connection, or you switch the cell tower, you disconnect and then reconnect. And then it's not a problem. Even if the room was locked and you were a host, you will be restored in your rights, so to say. You can test it. Another thing is more rare is, let's say we need to do a maintenance or some urgent bug fix, and we need to reload the server. But we know that there may be conferences running. Although reloading the server takes just a couple of seconds, maybe together with restart in, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds, there's still this small period when people will not be able to connect. But what is most important is that after server is up, we want to reassure everyone who was in a call, not notice this, but everyone, all the configuration stays, so that when you restart it, those who were hosts stayed hosts and could still do whatever they want. Those who were the viewers could stay viewers, so that other people could join, that the room is still locked, and so on and so on and so forth. So if you just worried, about that, that is taken care of, and we take it serious. So if we find any problems there, it is kind of high prio. We fix it.
Quick question about the webinar mode. Can the participants like ask a question live or something, like with using
there is a
mic?
chat. No, but not yet. And why not yet? Because then this makes very little difference between like a conference call and webinars. However, when we introduce those repeaters, one of the features that we will add or plan to add is so-called managed webinars. We call them internally. It's just to give you an idea. So you will be able to allow other person connect with his mic, like you are now doing, with the mic or with the mic and the video, depending on what's required. Probably in the very beginning with the mic and the video. If the video is not required, the person can mute it. But later we will enhance, add more functionality, and you will be just able to connect only with the mic, like you do now. Because obviously this is a kind of useful feature, but not that widely required. So we didn't build it in from day one.
Right. Yeah. Right now I'm connected also with screen sharing, but that's just a detail. Can I ask just something else about the RTMP? That's the game-changing feature here. I mean, it's not the only game-changing feature here. About RTMP, so how will this work, and will we have this? And if so, how many sources? I mean, to how many destinations can we stream the video to?
Physically, there is again no limitation on the amount of destinations. We will measure. Since we're now working on the technology, we haven't run any load tests. So we can't tell you exactly like how we want to package it price-wise, so to say.
So right now, basically, like it's a little too early to answer that question because it's still under development. So I think once it's out, we will be in a much better position to really answer that specific question, basically. So right now it's still under development. So next week itself, so Vladimir and me will be going a small beta run with you guys, and we'll show you, and we'll go live from the RTMP that has been built. And then mostly by June or July, it should be available for the initial beta test.
But is it likely that we will have access to it as part of the deal?
Yeah, you will have access to at least over it. I'm not sure if it will be. I'm not exactly sure how this will all be structured, like package-wise and so on. But let me answer your technical question, okay? Since I can answer clearly all the technical questions already to be transparent.
Yes, please.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the deal-wise it all will work, because it's PitchGround.
Good enough.
But okay, technically we will try to make as little limitations as possible, because we see a demand for people to stream simultaneously to several platforms to increase their audience. So what we plan to do is we plan to have, let's say you, me, and Udit join a conference call with, let's say you're sharing the screen, and we are just have videos and talking all together, and we stream all this, with some extra text or layouts, running some animation, whatever, I don't know, unicorns and kittens on the screen. And all this is streamed to probably, I can't say unlimited number of destinations, because obviously there must be a clear limit, but it won't be limited to 1, 2, or even 5. I think it's fair to have I don't know, limit of what's the theoretically required limit? 30, but no, who will share the 30 destinations?
But Vladimir, can I ask you, what would this limit be bound to? Would it be like the machine, the network of people using it? Who is streaming actually? Who's doing the heavy lifting of the stream?
Our servers. So it will be dependent on our service. That's why I can clearly assure you that the limit will not be 1, 2, or 3, or 5, because obviously a server could.
Very good.
Even if you may be pretty sure. I don't think you will stream even to 10 destinations. I hardly believe.
Well, isn't that a bit dangerous to be saying something like that? I mean, like that you will be able to stream to so many sources.
No, but
isn't that a bit-
look. It's
Yes.
my goal is to take care of the technology to make it like state of the art. How it will be packaged money-wise, so
Yes,
to
of
say,
course,
I don't
of
know.
course.
I don't know if streaming to 30 destinations costs us hell of a lot. You will be the guy to pay, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the
Like,
reason. That's the reason why I said, Dave, that right now it's still at a very initial stage, so it's very hard to really
Yeah.
structure things out. So that's the reason why we really want to get it up and running first, run some tests, and then really start structuring things in a better way.
Yes.
For you guys. So this is why I said, like, we're 100% transparent, but at the same time, it's at a very early stage. So it's very difficult to predict any sort of cost, even that will be associated with RTMP, or how much resources will be required. The technology is already being developed, and next week you will see us going live through that. And by June or maybe by July, we should see it being available for everyone at that point of stage. So now, how many location streams and all those things is something we won't be able to tell right now, unless or until we run enough tests. And you will see, like, me going live all the time at all the different locations and everything using RTMP once Zroom allows me to do that. So we will start sharing more details about that soon. And that's why, if you see, we haven't mentioned that on the website, but we are sharing this in the webinar because it's being developed. And once it's active, once it's available, we'll add those details in the sales page as well, because Zroom is going to be there on PitchGround for a few months till the time to ensure that you guys are 100% safe. It will be available till the time we actually release the RTMP as a complete solution. So you can be rest assured about with regards to that. So meanwhile, we want to make sure that enough tests is done, and we also understand the scalability and the cost in terms of server-wise that's going to be associated. And once we are able to identify that, and that's only possible when we run a test and when we stream for like 1 hour straight at 10 locations. Unless and until we do that, it's impossible for any company to really predict the cost, basically.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes. Okay, so
I know that Udit wants to be very like Billy. I love the way he said, like, yeah, it will be in June, maybe in July. I know you want to be that promising, but let's put it like this: it will be available for general public in July. In June, it will be maybe like a closed beta. We will invite people to test. Mm-hmm. Maybe you guys, maybe you, Dave, if you're that interested. Maybe like 5-10 people just to test it. But for the general public, it will be in July. If it goes extremely well, then yes, you will hear the first that it is going. It will be in June. We try. I mean, I want to make it. I want to make a good tool, not just a set of bugs.
Yeah, so that's the reason
awesome.
why, like, we want to make sure that we test enough. And trust me, like the day it's out for private beta for me, you'll see me like live almost every day, every few hours, going and testing out at like different locations, YouTube, Periscope, pretty much everywhere. So you're going to be seeing a lot of tests done. And like Vladimir said, we can invite few people for the beta test. And then on the basis of that, then we can predict some more costs that could be associated. And you guys can constantly give us the feedback so that we can constantly improve on the streaming part as well. And the streaming will also have very cool features where you can also place your logos, and you will be able to add your rotable text and everything. So all those features are being built at the same time.
Okay. Can I just tell you what I would be happy with in terms of the RTMP features? If you just give, let's say, one RTMP source or destination, and you limit it to like 1080p 30 FPS. For me, I'm just giving you my opinion as a member of PitchGround. I would be happy with that. Okay. Of course, if you had more, that will be better. But like for me, it's very reasonable if you say, okay, you only have one source or maybe two. It's very nice so people can see they can multi-stream with your platform, and then maybe you charge more for 4K or 60 FPS or 3 streams or extra streams. You can charge for that. I'll be happy with one. I would be very happy with two. I'll be extra happy. Just so you have an idea like how it would feel. And that's about it. I think that's all.
I'm not sure. Again, this is not agreed with Udit, but I think how we will structure it. It will probably be like not really. The streaming will not be white labeled. There will be a logo or powered by something like this. But then you won't have any limitations in amount of destinations, most probably. But we'll check what's the demand, because obviously.
Remember that ultimately the tool is built for you guys. So as you're coming in and the support is coming in, so we are very flexible in terms of really understanding the demand for it. But before any of those things right now, the RTMP feature needs to get developed. That's the first thing. Once that is done, I think then it will be structured in a much better way. And again, everything would be available on the sales page when it is going to be available.
Yep, and just keep a little bit have a little bit of patience. Next week, I'll do my best to run a demo when you will see both me and Udit, and we will be talking to each other, and you will see all this with a logo and maybe with something else. I don't know, with unicorns, all on Facebook.
Right. So just give us some time. Once we have more concrete answer, once the development is making progress, I think we'll be in a much better position to give you some more and all of you guys a much more concrete answer with regards to RTMP. It's just a little too early because the feature is still being developed right now at the moment.
Just a small point, an important one, not to forget. Dave mentioned all the problems, and I wrote down only the last one with this error, which is on the screen. Do you, Udit, have all the problems listed? Just not to forget.
I can easily recap.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe what you can do, Dave, is possibly after this, you can maybe shoot an email because we also have to do the product tour right now. So maybe you can just quickly shoot an email or something, or just write it down in the chat, and we can.
Actually, it's recorded. This is recorded.
Yeah, this is recorded.
That's
no problem.
What's the minute approximately? Approximately 1.5 hours.
Yeah, like 20 minutes prior to this, so 1.5 hours already.
That's all good.
All right. So, all right, Dave. Thank you so much for joining in. So we're going to go in and we're going to start doing the demo.
And thank you, Dave, for doing the partial demo for us. Because
of course, man. Of course. That's what I wanted to do. You can count on me for all support you need. Thank you very much.
Awesome, Dave. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving back, Vladimir, let's get started with the product demo.
Oh yes, let's probably get a little bit quicker with that, not to sit until morning. I know it's like what 4 a.m. at your place, right? So how shall we structure? I still see Dave's screen. I'm not sure if it's intended or not. Okay, now I don't.
Okay, now you can reshare.
Yeah. Do you see it? I think you should be able to see it.
Yeah, right? I can see myself. It's like an inception right now.
Cool. Let's start. Okay, we don't need presentation anymore, I think. Let's start simple. Let's go to Zroom. And there is not that much, there is just a simple landing. We will obviously add more details for you guys. You can go to terms and conditions and FAQ if you're interested, but more bells and whistles are coming. Let's use, let's use the new domain to show you. There is no distinction between signing up and signing in. It's if your user doesn't exist, we simply create it. We also try to fight, those spammers a little bit. So if it might be so that your domain doesn't work if you have something super weird set up with your mail mailing domain. Most probably you will never face it, but just don't be afraid. You will see something like this. If I try to sign in with this, it will check that there is no MX record, and it will not allow you to do this. We just wanted, to fight spammers a little bit. So only real mails are required. Yes. And let's check the mail. Boom, boom, boom. Meanwhile, while we're checking the mail.
Yeah, sometimes it could take a little long. So
yeah, especially in my case, because it is actually a redirect. I'm dumping all the mails to mine, but yeah, we will anyway need to have a domain, right? So let's go to some domain provider. This is not an ad. No, you use anything else. We're not advertising any domain providers here. So maybe we might need to introduce passwords. No, not spam. But let me check the original mail. Maybe it's already there, because again, I have tons of redirects. Oh no, that's the wrong one. No, it didn't get spam. Yeah, it got to spam. Okay, that's bad. That's my problem then. It got to spam. I hope you guys will not face it. Maybe it's just this system that thought about it, that thought it's a spam. Anyway, got a link. By the way, if anyone, if any of you will not get the link, just report this immediately. We'll collect all those cases, and if it becomes critical, we will simply introduce passwords back. We also plan to have login with Google, login with Facebook, and so on, to make it clear. The reason for not having a password is to simplify your life, because we know how annoying could it be with all those password managers and typing in stuff. So we try to make it simple. But if we're oversimplified it, we're sorry, and we will. Again, I got it to spam. I don't know why, but anyway. So yep, you go there, you're logged in. That's what you see as directly when you signed up, or signed in if it's the second time. There is a demo domain that I mentioned. You can play around. What we will see, it's not Android. Let's see what we will see. Maybe this button, right? Dialog, message box. Yeah, text color. I don't know. Yeah, you see the color changed, or maybe I don't know what the background. Let's play with the background. You see some of them are color pickers. Some of them support CSS, although you can still define colors here, like I don't know, yellow or whatever. But it is done in that way so that you could use various fancy tricks like radial gradient. I forgot. I don't remember the syntax. Was it? No. Okay. Let's not go into detail. I think. Yeah. Oh, sorry. We have to. Let's do it quick. Yep. You will play around yourself. Let's add a demo domain. Let's do it super quick. Sorry, guys, for taking all your times and all the possible other people times. We add a CNAME record, so-called CNAME record. We will later add instructions. What is this and how to do it at your domain provider, but it is always CNAME. Host is the place where you want the demo to be, or your tool to be. So we have demo 1, so let's call it demo 2. And you have a main domain where you add all this. So in our case, it's Zroom, right? If your domain is called, let's say, awesomedave.org, and he wants it at chat.awesomedave.org. Sorry, Dave, for using you as an example. I can use it. It is, you edit chat here, but in our case, it's demo. And target is which is white label, Zroom.app, and the TTL is automatic. You don't need to edit. And you press add. When if you just added a record, it usually takes just a couple minutes to propagate. So let's wait for it. You can meanwhile go for. Then I will need an account. Do we have any test domain? Oh, sorry, any test code with it? Because I will. Okay. Let me. Oh, we have 15 minutes. Shit. I just want to show. We should have test codes.
Yeah, I think I'll just purchase the code myself. Just give me a minute.
No, you don't need to purchase. We have test codes. I provided you with test codes.
I think it's with the team right now, so I don't have it right now with me.
We should have prepared it. Okay, let me quickly generate the code. I will,
yeah, let's just pause the screen.
I will pause the screen just to do it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, quickly. If you guys have any questions, please do let us know. And
I will generate it.
Awesome. So there is a question from Thatcher.
I will answer it. Just let me quickly.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to see if I can answer this question. Isn't it the case that different social networks have limitations regarding the TOS? FB doesn't allow a stream to FB, and the same, or we can talk only about Restream right now. So there is no such terms where you have to make your content exclusive for just one network. You can stream at multiple places. There are already softwares out there, and people are already like streaming at different places right away. So don't worry about that at all. You can stream at as many places as you want, and you can stream with as many locations as you want. There's absolutely zero restrictions with that.
And this 15 minutes is really pressing. I know now what you mentioned about Zoom. This is really. Hold
on. There is one interesting question, Vladimir. Would you consider adding an OBS plugin or something that could port in green screen capabilities?
Just hold on. Okay, I have the code. I hope I generated it on the correct server. Okay. Let me resume. Where are you? Resume sharing. Do you guys see my screen? Right. Could you confirm you see my screen? Yeah, great. So yes, we don't need this anymore. I got the code.
Don't worry, guys. You won't be able to use the code because it's going to be used. So.
You can. Yeah, it's moreover, this is a test code, so it's not. It won't behave the same way. It's a code just for the demo. You press just for you who didn't follow how it all worked. So when you're on the dashboard, you just press add seat. It's red when you don't have anything to attract your attention. Then, well, you can of course buy, but you just enter a gift code that you already bought. You redeem it, and you have a seat instantly. You will have 10 seats. Again, this is a demo domain. It's a demo domain. Meanwhile, while we were chatting, most probably this domain has already propagated. So we just type in demo2 zroom.app, press save. Yes, I'm very sure. Again, as mentioned today, we will have this feature, but not now. It is propagated. So now you can say press validate. Fingers crossed, it has propagated, and it takes usually around 10 seconds to sync with all the DNS servers, create a certificate. So yeah, we were lucky. So we now have the site. We can even open it. It's not styled, but you have your own demo2 Zroom app, and it's with the certificate, so it's secure connection. It's all automatically managed, automatically encrypted. You don't need to worried about it anymore. Here, yeah, again, we can play around. It's the same interactive editor. Do whatever you wish here. Any, yeah, CSS, add images, add whatever. Couple words about this SEO because it wasn't shown here. What you can set up for SEO. For settings, if you're in the US, I suggest you choose American server. It's in San Francisco. Soon we will either add one in Singapore or in Bangalore. Not sure yet. It depends on where you guys are. If a lot of people will purchase licenses who are from India, we will definitely deploy in Bangalore. Otherwise, it's Singapore to cover Asia. That's it. Yes, it was super quick, right? When you save things, don't forget to save them. Yep. And then when you open it, it's wow, it's done. That's how it works. I hope, yeah. Again, we're super short on time. So here you have an API also. When you come here for the first time, you don't have anything, but you can generate a key. You can read the documentation. You can build integrations and manage your rooms, stuff like that, everything you wish. So it's all here.
Awesome. Awesome, Vladimir. Thank you so much for the entire demo of the product. I hope you guys are thrilled, and this is a solution that you guys can go ahead and start selling right away because it's all ready to go. And definitely there's going to be a constant improvement. There's going to be a constant additions to things. There's going to be a constant updates to things. I'll also request Vladimir to get a public roadmap feature up and running. So maybe you guys can start adding whatever feature requests that you have so that other people can upload the required features, and based on the highest supported features as well, maybe Vladimir and the entire team can prioritize those features depending upon what you guys want first, rather than probably working on what is required at that point of stage. So I think we'll be sharing all those details as well. Meanwhile, let's take up a few more questions. I
see we have 31 messages.
Yeah, so there is a question from Marinil. She's asking, Vladimir, would you consider adding an OBS plugin or something that could port in green screen capabilities? That's a great question.
Actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, let's keep it a secret. Next time when hopefully we will stream through Zroom, you will see one cool thing based on neural networks. It is really close to green screen. What's that? But yes, we can. I was, you know what? When choosing between that feature and green screen, I chose that feature. I won't disclose it, just because green screen. Everyone has green screen. Skype has green screen. Zoom has green screen. I think even Facebook has this green screen. It's it's pops already. But the feature that I added, it is not popular for. It is also AI based, but it is not popular in video calls. So definitely yes. The answer on your question is yes. Not really but we will demo the technology. I'll try to demo the technology next time.
Awesome. So there's another follow-up question from her. Curious on video quality versus Skype and audio quality. Would love to have a high quality audio option for live music. I would say, Manuel, I think I've just dropped the link. You can head to xroom.app, which is the non-white label version of it. Test it out, invite your friends, speak with them, invite your family. It's actually a good time to go and spend time with your family right now. You can go and speak with them, right? So sign up for Zroom and just give it a try. See the performance yourself before making a decision. I wouldn't recommend buying anything without you actually testing out yourself, right? Go out and see how incredible this piece of software Vladimir has built. Test it out. Invite people, see if invite like 15 of your family members, right? Who are probably in like different cities, different states, and just spend some time with them, and you will see how powerful the software is and how powerful the entire architecture is in the backend. So video conferencing works like a charm at any point of stage. Now, the best part is that imagine now you would be able to sell the software under your own name. That's the beauty of Zroom, which is the white label version of the software. And it was specially created because we got a lot of requests when Zroom was really coming out. We got a lot of requests from people wanting to really sign up for Zroom, which is the white label version. And that's the reason why we have just launched white room label version Zoom exclusively for all you pitch grounders. This is specially developed for you guys because this hasn't been introduced anywhere ever, and this is the only technology right now in the market that is allowing you to resell. So you will have a first mover's advantage in your country. If you are located in Spain, in Spain, for an example, you can start selling it to a fellow Spanish person. If you're located in India, you can sell it to another fellow Indian. So all you have to do is just set up your CNAME, and you're absolutely done. That's how easy it is. And trust me, test it out before making any sort of purchase. Like I say every single time, test it out yourself. And if you see this is the right product for you, get it right away. If you think this is not a right product for you, then don't get it. This is why it's very important to just test it out yourself. And if you feel this is completely worth your investment, then get it. And the best part about the white label is that if you just go out there and sell those 10 sub accounts for even $50 or $100, you can actually make about like 10x back on your investment, to be very honest with you. It just depends upon how quickly you can sell and how many sub accounts that you can go out and sell. And you can actually build some subscriptions as well. Maybe you can charge $25 or $20 a month for each of the sub accounts from your user. You go out there, sell 10, and now you have built up a $200 to $300 subscription per month, which is going to be coming on every month. And the best part is, again, as Vladimir said, the undo remove option for sub accounts would come in very shortly, where you will be able to re-add another sub account from those 10 slots. So you will always have those 10 slots. Just give us time until, I would say, May end. That's what you said, Vladimir?
Yep, end of May.
So just give us time until the end of May to have that feature completely implemented, to be able to remove it and able to add it. Now,
keep in mind, you're buying seats, you're not buying domains. So
exactly.
obviously, sooner or later, you will be able to clear the seat from a domain, throw it away, and the seat will be there again. You buy a seat, not a domain.
Exactly. So you're buying that seat, and that seat is yours forever. Now it's up to you whether you want to sell it, you don't want to sell it, you want to use it yourself. If you have a customer that has not paid you, has left, you can simply cancel their account and you can deploy that seat to someone else. So you have a complete flexibility of how you really want to do things. And the best part is that Vladimir is really very open to feedbacks and developing Zroom based on your feedback. So if you guys want something as a feature, then just let the team know and they will start structuring things accordingly based on you want. Now, here is the best part, where I'm quickly gonna share my screen over here. So this is the best part. I had I've convinced Vladimir to give an extra 5% discount for you guys. It was very difficult to get anything, but he agreed to do it only for 24 hours. So the pricing is gonna go back to $245 for 10 sub accounts. But if you are grabbing it right now within the next 24 hours, actually we have 21 hours left because we spent a good amount of time on the webinar. So we got about like 21 hours left. If you want to grab it, and if you need that extra 5% discount, you can grab it right now. This is not a fake timer. As you see on PitchGround, we don't put up any fake timers at all. So once the timer is gone, it's gone. There's nothing we would be able to do about it. So if you want to save some extra bucks, you can get it. And remember, you have 60 days of refund policy. So if you don't like the software for any XYZ reason, then you have an opportunity to refund it back. And within 24 hours, our team will refund it back to you and will update you at any point. But meanwhile,
But before refunding, if you're not satisfied with anything, let us know. I mean, we can maybe sometimes, people are not satisfied keeping this inside them,
right?
And then they hate someone else. Just let us know. Maybe it's an easy fix. We will
right. So
you.
if there are any questions anytime, we're going to be posting up a thread very soon where we'll be answering all your questions as well. If there are any further questions that needs to be answered, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have questions. So make sure that you get all your questions answered. And again, you have 60 days to make your purchase, and you have Vladimir and his entire team. They're working really very hard towards building a fantastic product. There's a lot of things that's going to be coming up. I'm especially excited about RTMP myself because I don't want to promote Zoom anymore, and I don't want Zoom logo anymore, right? That's how, like, we have basically promoted Zoom to grow. So I don't want to do that anymore. So I want to start using Zroom myself. And we have been working very hard behind the scene to especially start building things the way you guys want. So meanwhile, thank you so much everyone for joining in. I hope you guys enjoy this incredible piece of software, and please keep giving us your feedback so that we can constantly keep on improving the product. We can keep on adding more features. We can keep developing more features, and we ensure that you have a fantastic tool in your hand that you can go out there and start selling to your audience in your country, in your local language. There is no other tool out there in the market that can does that. We can guarantee that there's no other white label reselling with the ability to resell as your own software. That's the beauty about Zroom. So thank you so much for everyone for joining in. It's been 2 hours. We have made it everything on time. So once again, I'm really thankful for people staying around for 2 hours. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We have a live chat on our website. We'll have threads, and if you still have questions, you can send us an email at support@pitchground.com, or if you want to personally ask me a question, then you can send me an email at udit@pitchground.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. So thank you so much for everyone for tuning in, and we have more webinars coming up, and the next one is going to be on Zroom. So that's going to be
no. The next one is tomorrow, so it's not on Zroom.
Yeah, I mean the 8th one. So starting from next week, we'll start doing that. Yeah. So we'll keep you updated. We'll send out an email with more details. So thank you so much, guys, for joining in, and have a great day, and make sure you stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yes. Thank you for having me with it. Have a great night at your, wanted to say day. Bye.